I invited 7 event players who you may know with experience in a variety of Minecraft genres to find out what they think about the Minecraft event space. Minecraft events that last over 3 hours are too long. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I think that there are certainly some situations in which like certain types of events probably shouldn't last all that long. But inherently, I disagree. Like inherently that like if an event lasts over 3 hours, it's automatically too long. No, there are plenty of event formats that work in a setting that could go for, perhaps 4 or even like 5 hours if you have like a break in the middle or something like that. I think there is a lot more creativity that could be explored in terms of like event length and how the format interacts with that.
Yeah, I mean, like anything longer than 3 hours, you definitely can. Like it's definitely something you can do, but at the same time, I feel like the average person probably isn't going to want to play for more than like 3 hours straight. Like I know whenever I get done with either an event or an event test, like I'm usually pretty out of it. So if I knew I had to stay for an extra 2, 3, 4 games after that, I feel like I would be pretty. I'd be a lot more exhausted than I already am after them. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what type of event it is, really. Like, if it's like an actual competitive event, I don't think it should be longer than 3 hours because you want to get the bare bones amount of like games done in that amount of time. But if it's a more like casual for fun event, then I feel like it can definitely stretch a bit longer. I just feel like you just get way more exhausted if you're trying to win an event or like if it's competitive.
Like others said, like I think it depends on what type of event it is, and that's so. I feel like a lot of events, like mini games events, like that take 3 hours. People are warned if there's sub outs and everything, it could take longer. It's fine if events take 3 hours, unless it's just something stupid that shouldn't take 3 hours.
Minecraft minigame events with a higher skilled roster is better than a lower skilled roster. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, this is another one where like inherently no. Like there are different events with different niches. Even within just the minigame event space, you're gonna have some that are more casual, some that are more competitive. I do think that the more competitive, the more like intense you want the competition to be, yeah, you generally want like the higher skilled players in that roster. But if you're going for a more casual vibe and minigame events can go either way, then no, you probably don't want a more competitive roster. So again, it depends on the situation, but like as a generalized statement, no, higher skilled players or a higher skilled roster is not going to make a better event.
Generally no, because it's like there's some events that are specifically designed to be higher com. Like there was the Cuba Leagues 2 in a day, which was insane, but that isn't just a standard event. That's one that's meant to be high com. If it's one that's meant to sort of just be for fun, then no, you're gonna want people from all sorts of different skill levels, and yeah.
I mean, I'm in the minority of this, but that's okay. But I generally feel that a more competitive event has just more passion in it than a for fun event. If we're splitting it down to like viewers and players, I think in both terms, more of them will have a fun time in a competitive event. For viewers, they get to see the best of the best skill wise playing the games, and for the players, if they do end up winning, and this is under circumstances that everything's perfectly balanced between the teams, which might not always be the case, but if it is perfectly balanced, then it just really shows off like how like skillful Minecraft players can get, and I think that's always fun, no matter what.
I just think that when you have very strong players, they normally play very, not aggressive, but just very, very like they want points, obviously. So in games like Sky Battle or any like PvP based game, you're so likely to be run down so early that like it's not fun to watch or play in.
I'll be honest. If I wanted to sleep, I would put on a VOD of like competitive, like a sweaty event. I'll be honest. I think like events that are like too competitive are just not fun to play or watch. I think it's just like way too sweaty. I prefer like events that are either silly or like lower comp. I think it's way better to play or watch as a viewer.
Using proximity chat makes the Minecraft event experience better. 3, 2, 1, go.
I was got a little too excited.
Okay, so I'm specifically talking about with like casual events, like the ones that are more just like silly, goofy. I do think proximity chat makes it really funny to participate in and to watch. Obviously, when it comes to like a sweaty competitive, like if that's the vibe you're going for, no, you don't want proximity chat. But for the events that actually use proximity chat, I do think it's a positive.
Yeah, I mean, like, proximity chat can be, like, as Stein mentioned, can be fun for, like, a chill event where, like, people are just, like, interacting with each other, memeing with each other. But from my experience, from what I've seen, it just turns into who can be the loudest, who can scream the most, who can make it miserable for everyone else as much as they can. Like, it can be fun if everybody treats it in a fun way, but most of the time it just becomes a screaming match and I'm loud so I'm funny. Everyone has to hear that now.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. It just gets too loud, and also there may be people, me included, that it's like I just get my head just hurts if I talk to too many people at the same time. So it would just like really suck if you're like that, and therefore you just can't sign up. It just sucks that people can't sign up because of limitations like that.
There's times that it works. Like my mind goes to a one-shot royale, and that kind of relies on the whole proximity theme. But there's times where it doesn't work, where it's like a video game event, and like he mentioned, there's like a lot of just yelling happening. So people don't really enjoy that.
I think I'm coming from like watching Block Wars Chaos, and I think it would work well if it's an event of like a tight friend group. But when you do it, something like Block Wars, where a lot of people just don't know each other, I think it just gets too loud. It's too awkward, and then it also kind of limits the player base because no one can really be PG friendly because it's too risky. Because some people just be saying anything.
My favorite Minecraft event experience has been on a team with the majority of my friends. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I'm interpreting this question as like when you say friends, it's talking about like people that you talk to like all the time, that you're like always hanging out with. And a lot of my favorite event experiences have been with people who like maybe I've talked to before, but not like extensively, not like super close friends. Like, for example, when me and my team went 7 for 7 on Chalice Chase, those are people who like I'm not talking to all the time. Like we're friendly, you know. I think those teammates are all awesome people, but like we're not like super close. And I think as long as the vibe is good, there's always a chance for really really cool moments to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, like, between MCC testing and, like, Block Wars Origins, some of my favorite teams have been with people I, like, don't speak a whole lot to or have just straight up never spoken to. Like, I mean, Origins 32, one of my favorite teams ever. I had barely spoken to 2 of them and never spoken to the other 2. And we still clicked really well together. We did really well. Like, there have been teams where I'm with my friends, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But it's kind of nice, just, like, those teams where you just meet people you haven't really spoken to before, if ever, and just really are able to like hit it off pretty well. It's those teams are pretty nice.
Yeah, I just don't agree. Like, as long as I can get someone to like find out what they click with me, then I think I can make any team as fun as possible. Like, for example, in CH16, big up Naya, Airborne, and Tapioca. I didn't speak to them like that much, but that was the best team experience I've ever had.
I think teaming with your friends and teaming with like new people, I want to say like are equally as fun, but like teaming with your friends, I want to say is like the safe option. Like I've never had a bad experience teaming with my friends, but I've had like negative experiences with new people, but they're both still pretty fun.
Minecraft minigame events should always have a finale between the top 2 teams. 3, 2, 1,
oops.
go.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I kind of seen it from the perspective of like Block Wars, for example, back in the day, up until I think Block Wars 15, or Block Wars Origins 15, there was no finale. It was just whoever won, like whoever did the best in the event just won. So having some type of finale, I think, can be good, just so then like if there is some team that is like either overpowered from the start or just has a really good on day and like steamrolls the event, there's still a chance that the underdog team, the second place team, can win the whole thing. Because otherwise, it's just whoever is the strongest team going into the event and playing an event just automatically wins. I'd rather have like finale where like I said, the underdog can have a chance to win.
It's not ideal without the finale. Like you want the finale to decide because it's more content at the end of the day. But like events can be good without it. Like the first year, like he said, like DJ said, was still really good. It just like had that downside. But like saying it can't have a finale is just wrong in my opinion because you should still be able to have a good event without having a finale.
Yeah. Once again, controversial opinion. I think just most of the events that do have finales, their finales are quite bad and they're just unbalanced. Second of all, I think if an event does have a finale and the second team place wins when it was like a lot of the first team plays dominating, I feel like it somewhat takes away the win. Obviously, I like to see an underdog story. And some events actually do have good finales, like obviously I have MCC's Dodgeball, but I just don't think in a lot of events it just works. And I feel like it just becomes a bit too clunky with the way a team wins. And I think some of the best events don't actually have a finale game to end it off.
I just think that in so many events, there's like always a team that just does so good that if there was no finale, I think it would just be really like demoralizing to all the other teams. Like when there is a finale, it's always, I don't get first, I just got to go for second. And then when there is a finale, even if you lose the finale but you win in coins, I think that still also feels like a win. So it's kind of like two teams are winning instead of just one.
I think that for example, I feel like sometimes in events there could be an unlucky moment, like that unlucky moment could like cost you top one. So I think finales are good ideas. But what I do think is like doesn't should okay. But I can't talk, man. Screw you, C-Dog. You're looking at me funny. I think like finales don't always have to be top two teams. I remember I saw one event a while back would do like finale with like all two teams, but like how you did in the event would like give you better loot or something. I think like there's so many ideas you could do instead of like top two teams. I've seen like other events do bottom two if it's like a silly event. I don't think top two teams should be mandatory.
No Minecraft event this year will pass the quality of Pandora's Box Dragon Spit. 3, 2, 1, go.
There's not a lot of events that are like that flashy with like effects and stuff. It's like MCC, Block Wars, and PB. And PB is on the big break, so we don't know if they'll come back in this year. Block Wars is more of a like variety focused roster, so I don't think they will try something like this this year. And MCC is more focused on the games than anything else, so I don't think this will, from what I understand at least. So I don't think they will try anything this year. And the rest of the like major events are a lot more focused on event, like the games in the event more than like the event itself.
Yeah, I mean, I can't count out like the super duper secret projects that might be going on, but I think this year I just can't see any event that might be able to surpass Dragon Spit in terms of quality, musical jingles, everything.
I think we're quite early in the year, and I think there's just so many, especially like new coders, designers, artists, all that stuff. I think it's not impossible. I think Dragon Pit was very, very high quality, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's no event like it. But again, I do think an event could do it within this year.
I think like we shouldn't count out like other events that are always like innovating new stuff. Like for example, like there is Biome Battle that's always been innovating, and like they're on break right now, but there's a chance to come back even better. There's like even events like Clicks Games and all of that, even some smaller events that are always like trying to innovate. And did I say Biome Battle? Isn't Biome Battle like an event? I forget.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's an event.
Oh, like I think they're always trying to innovate, and just because Pandora's Box was really that good doesn't mean no other event can get close.
Damage points are better than kill points in PvP games. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, so kill points, where your points come entirely from just getting the last hit on somebody. I think PvP games, the point system should be like as like merit based as possible, where like the more effort you put in, the more like damage you deal, the more you should get rewarded for that. And so if it's just a last hit based system, there's going to be so many instances of people getting points that they didn't deserve as much, or people missing out on points that they really should have gotten based on the effort and work that they put in to get those points. So there's no perfect way to evaluate points for a PvP game because there's a lot of like intangibles that you can't really calculate. So there's not going to be a perfect system, but when it comes to damage points versus kill points, damage points is still a massive improvement.
The main games that come to mind whenever I think of like damage points in events are like there's Skyfest, there's PBs, SG, and things like Souls, where it's like you can just get so many points from putting in damage, and then if there weren't any damage points, you could do like PBJ said, where it's you get them down to half a heart, and then a teammate just drops like all the kills, and you don't get anything from it. So damage points are just really really nice to have.
I mean, it's a hard thing for me personally because I like kill points because I'm a PvP Andy, but I do like damage points as well because it does reward the general public. I feel like for the two to work, they both need to be in an event. Otherwise, it's gonna be very like one-sided because I think an event just on damage points with no kill points is very bad.
I like the idea of just being kill points because I feel like when it's damage points, it's always the same people with the most amount of damage, and obviously like that's gonna happen because of skill and stuff. But I feel like it's much easier for like a lower skill player to shoot someone once and get the kill, or just drop a TNT or something. And I think having all the points being getting the kill, I think it adds a little bit of risk to it. Like, do you run down this team in Sky Battle? Because like if you do all the damage but you don't kill them, you get 0 points, and I think that's like a good risk. That makes sense.
Personally, I will say I abuse, stealing the final hit, even from my own teammates, because, I'm a good teammate. But I think having no damage point, okay, it makes for some really good underdog moments. Like, a lot of lower skill players, I've seen so many clips of the lower skill players getting amazing moments of killing multiple people at once because they, get final hit. Even though, it doesn't take much effort to just get final hit. It makes for some amazing clips and moments to lower skill players. And also, I will say, I also do think that damage point could be good, is like a good thing, but I think kill points, like, only being good for kills, like, I think it makes for amazing moments in events and brings, more content.
Minecraft events with teams of 4 is my favorite format. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I've had experience with both like teams, like events with teams of size of 4 or size 5, like 5 people, 4 people, and like I like both of them. I think there is kind of like a sweet spot of like once you start adding too many people, like there can be a lot more crossed wires. You have like a lot more people to keep track of in team games or PvP games, and sometimes even movement games. So I think like 4 is a pretty like good number of just there's not going to be too many people trying to like talk over you or trying to like give comms and whatnot. But it's not like there's enough people to vibe off of, but also you can still communicate efficiently.
For me, teams of 5 can be a little bit overstimulating. Like, there's some cases where it's done really well. Like, Cube Championships does it really, really well because there's some games that are based around having 5 players. But most of the time, teams of 4 are just overall more enjoyable and less, I guess, competitive in terms of like how many points there are total. And yeah.
In my opinion, I just can't see an event not having a team of 4. It is genuinely the perfect amount of people you can have on a team. It makes teams interesting. It gives them flair no matter what event it is. You get a slice of each personality from a team. It makes like the actual games themselves more risk-based because you have to keep track of your teammates, make sure they don't die or fumble or anything like that. And it's just way better than like something like a team of 5 or a team of 8 or a team of 2 because it's more like in terms of like teams of 8, you just get like no like representation. If your team's just doing bad, you're just gonna do bad. And it's the same in a team of 2. If you're doing well but your teammate isn't, it's just gonna drag you down even more. While in a team of 4, you can roughly hold each other accountable.
Personally, one of the most fun I've had in an event, one of them was like a charity event that was like, kind of like a solo event where, not really a solo event, it was like a 50 versus 50 where it's like aliens versus non-aliens. I played that event once, it was really funny and really fun. I've also played I tested for an event that was for Twitch Rivals, a Survivor event, and that was really fun. I love like when, events don't do to general like teams of 4, do a lot of mini games, 1-2. I think like some of original concepts like these are really fun to play and, to host.
The Minecraft event space would not be nearly as popular as it is now if MCC never existed. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I mean it's undeniable how much of a trendsetter MCC was. Yeah, MCC has so clearly been a trendsetter, like bringing together pretty much all the most popular Minecraft streamers of the time when MCC was really growing, and just the show that they put on, the production value of it was unlike anything that the Minecraft community had ever seen. And it's very clear that you can see like so many other events have been inspired by MCC by taking on very similar formats. I mean, even like Pandora's Box, which is seen as one of the, I think, more creative events, like still so much similar to MCC just in terms of the basic format of the event. And it's details like that that show you like how influential MCC has been and how much it has inspired the rest of the minigame event scene. Like it is not even a question how influential MCC has been.
I was originally just in like the strongly agree, but like I'm realistically like so much has come from MCC. Like I mean, even like Block Wars was originally made from testers who were in MCC that wanted to make their own event. Like if MCC wasn't a thing, would Block Wars have even ever become a thing? And then like so many events after that, like I mean, if MCC had never happened, then like I'm sure there still would be like some types of Minecraft events. Like I mean, Minecraft Mondays was a thing before MCC, so I'm sure if MCC didn't happen, then there still would have been some type of event like later on. But MCC really just laid the groundwork of like, here's something we can do. We should do more of it. And I mean, now there's so many different events like Block Wars / Block Wars Origins, Pandora's Box, MC Mania, MC Mayhem, Clicks Games, Tommy Returminants, Chamber Trials. Like there's just, and a lot more that I can't think off the top of my head, but there's, MCC really, I think, just kind of laid the groundwork for Minecraft events in general for a while now.
I don't think MCC itself was what made the event scene so influential. I think it's the fact that it was all the like big Minecraft creators at the time playing, which caused like a lot of eyes on like, hey, this can be done, and like a lot of people took influence from that. That a lot of the like huge Minecraft streamers at the time was playing in this tournament.
I'll be honest, me personally, I think as soon as MCC 10, when people saw the viewers team, I think it gave opportunities to people to think like, oh, I could be playing in events and everything else. So MCC itself has given so many ideas to event communities. So many events are existing right now because of MCC exists. And MCC has made both, making events, joining events, looking for events, everything event related so popular.
Will the Minecraft event space grow significantly in the future? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, I mean, like, will the event space ever reach the peak? Like, will it ever reach the numbers we were getting back in like 2020, 2021, even arguably 2022? No, but I feel like there could be a bit of a resurgence of like either current events that are happening or maybe some new event that pops up. I could see like a bit of a resurgence in events again, especially like, I mean, Minecraft speedrunning has been like kind of trending on the up and up recently. So I think that events could also like see the event space could grow in the future. It could also crash and burn, but I feel like there's still a chance for it to continue to grow.
I don't see it growing that much, if any. The main issue is the biggest contributor to the event growth is MCC, and how long will MCC keep on going? That's the main issue for the growth in the community. They kept for 6 years now, and that's really good. But like, how long will they be able to keep it up with new ideas and new games and everything? So how long will they be able to keep that up?
I think we're currently kind of in a huge period of growth for events because there's a lot of new events that have popped up in the last 2 or so years, and there's been a lot of players that have sort of joined the event community and gotten into more things, like mainly speedrunners, because Chamber Trials and Cube Championships have added a lot of MCSR players in their past few events, and it's kind of just shot in popularity. So I guess we'll just have to see where it goes from here.
I don't want to say that I don't think it will grow, but I think it will never reach the peak that the event space had like around, I don't know, it was like MCC 15 or something, or the start of like the newish Block Wars. I think it was so popular back then because the events were kind of like, it was like once a month. Like people would look forward to this thing once a month, and now there are just so many events that I could open Twitch any day of the week and there'd be a popular enough event like Chamber Trials or PB happening that I think it's just lost a little bit of its like excitement in like looking forward to it, like the team announcements and the predictions and stuff. But I will hope it would grow still.
I think the event committee has already reached its peak like 3 years ago. Like just like Jackerson said, like around like MCC 15. I don't think any time, you know, that type of viewership will never happen again in the event committee unless, you know, one of the big streamers like, you know, Kais and that, or like, you know, those other people like just start playing Minecraft Dance, which I doubt. I do think like, you know, I don't think events are gonna slow down for a while. I think it's still just gonna, you know, just still gonna be a lot of events, but I feel like now we're entering like an era where like most events are just like bot events, like PB, Chamber Trials, all of these events were just bot.
So those were some interesting takes. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe and check out the previous video if you haven't already. Goodbye.